What's up, Playboy? I guess that's a better way to put it. How's everybody doing today? I thought I would just say hello real quick. What's going on, Bruce? What's going on, Greg? How are you, Ollie? Nice to see you, Bronco Nation. Can you get an OTVO? Whether you're watching this next week, next month, or next year, or you're watching it right now, and you are watching this live now, right now, if you're watching this live, in that comment section, put OTVO. Overturn Terry versus Ohio. It's the most important thing. We must stay focused, my brothers. We must stay focused. And then if you would please, everybody, hit the like button. Just take your finger, just real quick, take your finger and just take your finger down there and just real fast. Just hit the like button. It's probably right down below, right down below their screen. And you want to hit that like button real fast because I'm going to show you guys some stuff today, and I'm going to teach you guys a couple of case laws, because there's always a case law to apply to every single interaction that we see with the coppers. Every single time you see a cop violating someone's rights, you can pretty much break that down into how their civil liberties were violated. I'm just going to explain a little bit of Terry versus Ohio, and then I'm going to show you guys several videos. But we're in the Terry era, and that means that when Brian and I sit down across the table from one another, and he could be with somebody, I might separate them, ask them different questions. Hey, where are you heading? Oh, we're just heading to my mom's house. Oh, we're just heading to a friend's house. Those stories don't match. Brian, turn around. Put your hands behind your back. I have reasonable articulable suspicion. She told me you were going one place. You told me you're going another place. You ask her later and she says, yeah, we're going to a friend's and we're going to my mom's. But she didn't say that. And it's not her fault. It's her fault because she talked. That's the game we're playing, though. Simon says if you don't say the right things, that gives me reasonable articulable suspicion. That is Terry versus Ohio. That means you can be put in torture cuffs. And probably the most disgusting and egregious thing about Terry versus Ohio is that you don't have to be doing anything wrong. You don't have to be in the commission of a crime. You don't have to be plotting a crime. You don't have to be thinking about crime. You don't have to be doing anything at all. All it requires is that I'll take Butch the original this time. What's up, Butch? All I have to do is get on my phone and call up the boys in blue and say, you know what? Butch the original is dangerous and he is threatening people. That's all it takes. Who is this? I want to remain anonymous. Illinois versus Gates, 1983. I don't have to tell them. So now the police have reasonable articulable suspicion that Butch is threatening people and Butch is dangerous. And now when they walk up and say to Butch, hey, what's going on? Where you been today? And he says, yo, why are there 4 cops around me? Get the hell away from me. Now you're being combative, Butch. What happened? Nothing. Somebody called on you. That's all it requires. A telephone call. That's it. Now, because of reasonable articulable suspicion, because of Terry versus Ohio, you can now be detained. You can be detained. Do you understand that? When you see cops go hands-on and grab somebody right away, that is a Terry stop. They're grabbing them for officer safety. That's what the entire crux of this channel is about and will continue to be about. And videos that I will showcase will show you Terry stops and how heinous they are. So I want to show you this first video. I think we got enough people here. Let me just show you this first video, because what this is going to show you guys is that when we give one organization autonomy without any third party able to regulate them in any real world way, then you're going to get things like this. Just imagine that this is your cousin. Okay. That's all I want you to do. And and I'll try to shut up because sometimes I get excited and I get angry and I'll start to talk too much because I get mad. And so, without further ado, let's just watch this together, and I'll.
Officer facing 5 years prison time.
Almost 15 times for no reason, and later paid the price for it. On September 4th, 2022, 2 officers from the Michigan State Police were out on patrol duty when they noticed that a male subject was walking on the roadway instead of the sidewalk. Rather than giving him a verbal warning and asking him to stay on.
So did you hear that though? He was walking down the roadway instead of walking on the sidewalk. That's why he stopped.
Sidewalk. Both officers pulled up behind the male subject, got out of their patrol vehicle, and immediately made physical contact with them.
Okay, so let me break this down just a little bit. What's happened right here? So this they have the right to grab him for officer safety. That's part of what a Terry stop is. However, because he was walking in the road and there's a city ordinance or statute that makes it illegal to walk in the road, then the police had probable cause to engage with him to give him a ticket for him walking in the road. Terry versus Ohio, though, allows the cops to grab him in the name of officer safety because they don't know if he has a knife or a gun or a stick and he's going to attack them. So what they do here when they get out of the car and they immediately go hands-on, technically it's legal. And let's see what happens if there's going to be any prison time or anything like that. But I'm just telling you the legalities of what you're seeing.
Yes, very irate.
As expected, the male subject, 28-year-old Michael D. Wilson, was startled and confused when both officers started to employ physical force without any warnings and grabbed him by his arms to pull him towards the patrol vehicle. At that point, Mr. Wilson made it clear to the officers that he had done nothing wrong.
I ain't even doing nothing. I'm not even doing nothing.
Then, Mr. Wilson also asked them if their body cameras were turned on, which implied that he already knew these cops were up to no good.
I'm not, y'all got your camera room? Yep.
As Mr. Wilson continued to question the officers as to what was going on, he was told to place his hands behind his back in order to place him in handcuffs.
Please don't.
It becomes pretty clear that both of these officers were unlawfully detaining Mr. Wilson. As this went on, one of the officers, namely Trooper Paul Arrowwood, violently slammed Mr. Wilson to the ground and ordered him to roll over with his hands behind his back while physically trying to secure Mr. Wilson's arms. In response, Mr. Wilson could be clearly heard, telling the officers that he could place his hands behind his back by himself.
I can get my hands behind my back, bro. I can get my hands behind my back.
However, despite Mr. Wilson's verbal agreement to comply with the officers, Trooper Arrowwood decided to punch Mr. Wilson in the face multiple times while ordering him to roll over. The body camera footage proves that Mr. Wilson was not resisting, but rather trying to roll over by himself without the officer's unnecessary physical force. Trooper Arrowwood was physically assaulting Mr. Wilson with no justifiable reason whatsoever. Mr. Wilson shouted for help out of fear, but was then punched in the face by Trooper Arrowwood several more times. While Trooper Arrowwood continued to engage in a scuffle with Mr. Wilson, the second officer on the scene threatened to tase him. But that still did not stop Trooper Arrowwood from punching Mr. Wilson in the face over and over again, even though he showed zero signs of resistance.
Roll over. Roll over. Roll over. Roll over. Or you're going to get tased. Roll the over.
And to make matters far worse, Trooper Arrowwood then delivered several knee blows to Mr. Wilson's face. All of this happened right in front of the second officer, who simply stood there and watched.
Put your hands behind your goddamn motherfucking back. Let me tase him.
Soon after this,
Did you hear that? Do you want me to tase him? put a 1 in the chat if nothing happens to either one of these cops. Absolutely nothing. They get a pat, a slap on the wrist.
Multiple other officers showed up on the scene to provide backup, and at one point, a total of 6 officers are seen physically restraining Mr. Wilson. This begged the crucial question of whether 6 grown men were really needed to restrain one single man who had just been brutally injured, thanks to Trooper Arrowwood. The scuffle finally came to an end when the officers placed Mr. Wilson in handcuffs.
So
However, the footage shows yet another alarming scene, as one of the officers then pulled Mr. Wilson up from the grass and threw him back down once again.
Look what they're. Look what they're doing to him.
Wow.
He said, "You beat my ass like that." They just beat him up.
3115, car going east on 11, taking off.
But the unnecessary force and tyranny did not end there. Shortly after, Trooper Arrowwood can be seen pulling Mr. Wilson up from his collar and pushing him towards the patrol vehicle. To make matters worse again, Trooper Arrowwood then grabbed Mr. Wilson by his neck and continued to hold it that way while he searched Mr. Wilson for any weapons or illegal substances. Amidst this horrific situation, Mr. Wilson told Trooper Arrowwood that he'd be suing him, to which Trooper Arrowwood, with a grin on his face, replied, "Sue me then."
What good? I swear to God, I'm suing your bitch ass.
Eventually, after a thorough search while continuing to physically restrain Mr. Wilson, the officers found nothing illegal and proceeded to place him inside the patrol vehicle, even though he had done nothing wrong whatsoever. Mr. Wilson also stated that he was bleeding, which was no surprise after the countless blows to his face by Trooper Arrowwood. Consequently, Mr. Wilson requested an ambulance to check on his injuries and treat him accordingly. A few minutes later, EMS arrived on the scene and checked Mr. Wilson out, who informed the paramedic that he was beaten up for no reason, and his face was in severe pain as a result. But they rather chose to physically assault an innocent man who had done nothing unlawful. Mr. Wilson was treated on the scene and then transported to the police office, where he was initially charged with assault and resisting police. In the incident report, written by Trooper Arrowwood, the phrase active resistance is quoted a whopping 10 times, which is rather outrageous, considering that the body cam footage made it pretty clear that Mr. Wilson did not resist to such an extent that would justify the level of force used by Trooper Arrowwood. In addition to this, Trooper Arrowwood wrote that he took Mr. Wilson to the ground because Mr. Wilson was ignoring his verbal commands, and he wasn't sure if Mr. Wilson was armed or not. Lastly, the report also contained a blatant lie, as Trooper Arrowwood alleges that Mr.
So, did you hear that? They didn't know if he was armed or not. That is code word for officer safety, that anything can happen to you.
Wilson landed on his stomach after throwing him to the ground and then attempted to stand back up. However, the body camera footage does not even remotely suggest that. Meanwhile, prosecutors declined to charge Mr. Wilson with a crime, and he was released from the Saginaw County Jail on the afternoon of September 6, 2022, after spending 2 nights in custody. Then, 3 weeks later, the Michigan State Police suspended Trooper Arrowwood, and a professional standards complaint was sent to the department's first lieutenant, Michael Anderson, for a criminal investigation. Following this, on October 27, 2022, another lieutenant at the department requested Trooper Arrowwood to come in for an interview regarding the ongoing investigation, to which he declined and chose to speak to a union representative instead. Months later, on March 2, 2023, Trooper Arrowwood was ordered to appear in court. During his arraignment in Saginaw County District Court, Trooper Arrowwood was charged with 1 count of common law offense or misconduct in office, a felony that carries a maximum penalty of 5 years in prison and a $10,000 fine, as well as 1 count of assault and battery, a misdemeanor that can result in up to 93 days in jail and a $500 fine. Trooper Arrowwood is currently free on a $7,500 personal recognizance bond and is to remain on unpaid suspension from the Michigan State Police until his case is resolved.
Officer facing 5 years prison time.
Almost 15 times for no reason.
So hold on a second. So you know, I don't need to run it back. We saw it. There was a half a dozen cops on top of him hurting him. Why aren't they all charged? That if that were you and I, because of the model penal code, then each and every one of us would be charged with felonies for doing that to that man, for holding him down while the other one was punching and kneeing and kicking. And remember, you're 6 men there. So one man couldn't have got off them and grabbed the guy doing the punching and kneeing and kicking and stopped that from happening? Absolutely, he could have. Absolutely, he could have. So what is going on? What is going on, everybody? How's everybody doing? Good to see everybody tonight. What's going on in the world of YouTube? Integrity News, good to see you. It's Bruce, good to see you. Michael, good to see you. Good to see you. Griffey, what is going on? What is going on? What? It's going well. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Brian, what is going on? What is going on? What is going on? Oh, nice, Integrity. I appreciate you putting them there. Kurt, Dave. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys another video. This, you know, it's almost like, why do I, you know, I don't really need to say anything. I'll just show it to you guys, and you guys can make your executive decision on.
To carry this, if I'm carrying this, I don't answer questions.
Okay, so if you have a weapon in the car, then what?
You got one on your hip. So what?
We are the Armed Attorneys. Today we're talking about a police interaction. This is a little bit different than what we normally discuss, but it's a combination of a First and Second Amendment audit that is worth discussing. But before we begin, show your support for the Second Amendment by hitting that like button. And today's brought to you by our friends over at Sonoran Desert Institute. Check them out at SDI and much more. In our backyard, it's a little bit older video, but it's making the rounds on the internet. I think the best way to characterize it as a hilarious First/Second Amendment audit here. What do you think about this?
Oh, yeah, and you can really...
Oh, shoot.
When you demand identification...
Again, Institute. Now, this happened in our backyard. It's a little bit older video, but it's making the rounds on the internet. I think the best way to characterize it as a hilarious First/Second Amendment audit here. What do you think about this?
Oh, yeah, and you can really go down a rabbit hole when looking at these. There's just... We all know that there's a lot of audit videos out there. This one's very funny because the guy obviously knows his stuff, and the police officer, while not overtly hostile, you can tell he's extremely agitated, but the guy does a very good job because he gives the officer absolutely no openings to exploit, to try to raise the stakes or try to pull the guy out of his car or really, you know, hold.
Just the initial stop, and let's roll that clip now.
Roll it down?
Why do you pull me over?
I'll tell you that if you roll it down.
Why can't you tell me now?
Because the reason I pulled you over is you were yelling something from your car.
So what?
Huh?
So what? That's why you pull me over, because I'm
And I
yelling?
don't know if you're in need of help or anything.
Oh, I don't need help.
So,
Thank you.
Okay, let me see your driver's license real quick.
I don't need help.
Okay, that's your driver's license?
What for?
Can you use the turn signal when you made a turn?
Of course I did.
That's your driver's license.
You can hear the sound on the dash cam too.
Let me see your driver's license.
This is a good reminder. What is the standard by which police officers can temporarily stop someone in a vehicle? It's reasonable suspicion. It's lower than probable cause.
Reasonable suspicion is from what? Terry versus Ohio.
And as we can see from this video, initially the officer says, hey, I heard you yelling. Do you need help? He says no. So that should theoretically be the end of the transaction until the officer does what?
Yes. Well, I want to add that Texas a couple of decades ago, created a very special type of rule that many states have adopted as well, and that is called the community caretaking function.
Yep.
It was authorized as an authorized reason to stop somebody by the U.S. Supreme Court, and the community caretaking function, and that's basically what the officer initially says he's doing whenever he says, I just needed to see if you needed help.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a ridiculous catch-all. Apparently this guy was just yelling out his window, and this to the officer said, oh, that guy must need help. I will stop him under my police authorized duty of community caretaking.
But as soon as he says, I don't need help, and he says, can I go? The officer has to morph a little bit, and
that should have been the end of it. Yes.
Yeah. And he morphs into his reasonable suspicion for the stop.
Reasonable suspicion is Terry versus Ohio.
Was failing to signal, and the Supreme Court has commented on this because there are so many traffic regulations.
Heen versus North Carolina, 2014.
That, they say effectively you don't have a right to privacy in your vehicle. They lament this, but at the same time saying, there's really no other way to administer this stuff. But there's so many rules. You talk to any police officer, they say it's just a matter of time before you commit a traffic infraction.
Oh, yeah. In fact, we should have here a prop of the Texas Transportation Code, which it's literally this thick, double columned in like 6-point type. And that's how thick the Texas Transportation Code is. The Texas legislature, for some reason, feels to need to hyper-regulate not only automobiles on the road, but also bicyclists, pedestrians, everybody who has anything associated with the roadway. It is hyper-regulated. For example, the signal law, most people don't know this, but in Texas, the signal law says not only do you have to signal, but you have to signal 100 feet before your intended turn.
Yeah.
So if the officer says, well, you signaled, but it was only 50 feet before your turn, then they've developed reasonable suspicion to stop you.
And so that kind of takes us into our second phase of this interaction. Now, the police officer no longer having that community caretaking, evolving it into reasonable suspicion. Our driver now has to identify himself.
Did you hear it? It went from community caretaking to reasonable suspicion. Just like that.
By providing his driver's license and license to carry. Now, this is a really interesting point for anyone across the country. You need to know your duty to notify laws. Now, some states have something on the books to the likes of, hey, if you're carrying a firearm, you have to inform the police that you have a firearm present in your vehicle. Texas is just a little bit different, and I think this is a good illustration and kind of fun example of this. Let's go with this second part.
You can just crack the window if that's what you want to do.
It's already cracked.
I can't see that.
Well,
This thing.
it doesn't matter. Here. I don't wish to answer questions.
You have to let me know if there's a weapon in the car. You not take the class?
I did.
Did they tell you have to tell them?
When you demand identification, I have to display this. That's what they told me in the class. That's what the law says.
The officer wants to take the
And actually, if I don't display, there's really not much you can do because there is no penalty attached to that. I have to carry this if I'm carrying this.
Are you carrying?
I don't answer questions.
Okay, so if you have a weapon in the car, then what?
You got one on your hip. So what?
I'll go on your breath.
No, you don't.
How do I know?
Because you can't smell my
I
breath.
can smell something coming
Oh,
out.
really?
Let's see. Let me do some field sobriety.
I don't think so.
Okay. Yeah, where are you coming from?
Huh?
Where are you coming from?
You saw me where I was coming
Oh,
from.
I just saw you driving down.
Are you done with this?
I'm done with that, yeah.
All right, cool.
Where are you coming from?
I don't answer questions. I've already told you. Let me know when I'm free to go.
All right, so we see the contrast here, whereas instead of having to tell you, hey, I have a gun, what does Texas's law say?
Well,
Just brilliant.
Texas what we see here is actually a convergence of many different Texas laws. So just going back, trying to do history briefly, which, I have a real problem with doing history briefly. But
We'll cut it.
But Texas first law said that if you're only allowed to carry a gun in your car if you have a license. If you have a license and you have a gun with you, you have to show the officer your license. Otherwise, there is a penalty that you could have your license suspended. Then about 15 years ago, Texas said, well, no, you don't have to have a license in your car. And so that created this weird kind of situation where license holders still obligated to tell the police officer he has a gun and show his license. People who carry in their car just because they're carrying in their car had no such obligations. So the Texas legislature said, this is a problem, we got to fix it. So what they did was they reached a very interesting compromise, whether intentional or not, because the legislature, they do a lot of things that have unintended consequences. They created a law where it maintained the showing the ID part. It kind of cut the telling them whether or not you had a gun part out. But most importantly, what it did was it eliminated all penalties for failing to do that. And so the man is right whenever he says, even if I didn't show you this, there's nothing you can do about it because there's no penalty attached. And I think most police officers find that to be surprising.
Yeah. And you can see, I mean, the officer's frustration is building. I mean, he's communicating him through a crack in the window. He's obviously saying F the police, you know. So, I mean, he's antagonistic. But at this point, asserting rights, I mean, correctly. I mean, what do we say about the First Amendment? It's not there to talk about the weather. So if he wants to be rude, protected. But
it's not there to protect popular speech.
No.
So yes, every police officer is going to be fine with, hey, police officer, how's your day? Nice weather.
Thank you for your service. High five. Boom.
Thank you for your service.
That's not what the First Amendment's for. You know, is this the way I conduct myself around the police? No, but you know, legal. So we go on to this next part. So he's correctly identified. He has to show his LTC, but no penalty. I think there's also some good arguments there that he may not even have to do that, carrying under the authority of Texas's motor, you know, it's the Castle Doctrine extended to your vehicle / the constitutional carry law.
Right. And that's what I wanted to point out was this did take place in 2022, which was a little less than a year after Texas constitutional carry went into effect. And so he really didn't have to do anything at all. Doesn't have to tell the officer, even if the officer sees his gun there in the seat, as long as it's in a holster, he's A-okay. So he's got a lot of protections there. And I think at one point, the police officer kind of finally realizes that this guy knows his stuff and I'm not going to be able to run him in on any kind of bogus charge or further give him a hard time. So it's interesting to see how this further plays out.
Yeah, let's go to the part 3.
Still desperate to find something to use in retaliation against Clear Lake, Deputy Vega inspects the lights on the front of the vehicle.
Also, what is your name? What's your name? Your name? Sheriff, that's your name? Sheriff?
Right above it, right there.
I'm not familiar with the English alphabet, sir. Okay, can I have an incident number, please? Oh, a ticket, okay.
While I have you here, okay, I don't want you exiting the vehicle because you have a weapon in the car.
Did I exit the vehicle? Did I exit the vehicle?
Give you a heads up.
Did I exit the vehicle? Hey, you do have a dash cam, right? Very good. You can't just pull me over because I said the police. I hope you realize that. Stupid.
A moment later, the deputy returns.
I'm sorry?
You have insurance on the vehicle?
Yeah.
Can you show it to me, please? It doesn't come back.
Of course it comes back.
Not on my system, it doesn't. Also, it's not typical behavior for some.
Right. How often do we hear this? It doesn't come back. Or the license plates don't match. Your tags are wrong. And they're just making errors. Oh, it must have been a glitch in the system.
Somebody to be yelling out of the vehicle. Have you had anything to drink tonight? Is that your current address?
Is that a question?
Yes, sir. Is that your current address?
Do I answer questions?
Okay, I'll just assume that's incorrect then.
And why would you do that?
I'm asking you a simple question.
Did you read my address on the driver
It
license?
didn't have an address. It didn't have an apartment number on your driver's
Of course it does.
Let me see. Can you verify?
You've already seen it. I've already complied with that part.
I don't. But I'm just saying, you didn't have an apartment number
Of course it does.
on your driver license.
Man.
Okay, I'll be right back.
All right, so now we have the insurance not magically come up in the police officer's data terminal, which Texas courts and many courts across the United States have held that could be grounds for reasonable suspicion. They run a license plate, they see the vehicle's uninsured,
and the cop just puts in the wrong number or letter on oops accident, and then it comes back incorrect to a different vehicle, but then, oh, your license plate came back wrong.
That could be grounds for a stop in and of itself. And so he has to see the insurance. And there's a weird issue here that I think is worth talking about.
Yes. Texas, like most states, state that all your documents have to have the same address. If you fail to notify the state of any of your address changes on any of your pieces of information, then that's a problem. And so apparently, and so keep in mind, this police officer has now seen 3 pieces of information that have this man's address: his license to carry, his driver's license, and his insurance card. And all 3 of those addresses have to match. And a lot of people don't realize that, because in the hassle of moving, or if you have somebody who moves frequently, a lot of times people just forget to do this, but it is required by law. And apparently this officer is really searching for something, because he claims the addresses don't match, but then we find out that they only don't match because allegedly the apartment number was left off of one of them.
Yeah, interesting. I wonder if that's true. But we go into kind of our last part of this, and I think this is an important thing to point out. Asking a police officer whether or not you're free to go. And that kind of comes up in this last part, and then we get a little aggressive. We got to talk about it. But why is, when interacting with law enforcement, why is it important to ask them if you're free to go?
Well, that's kind of the bright line, because the U.S. Supreme Court has kind of outlined this murky area. Believe me, I would love it if they would outline, if they would put more bright.
Am I being detained, or am I free to go? Everybody who's on Team DLZ, you already know this. You ask the question, am I being detained, or am I free to go? I'm not answering any questions.
Bright lines down between, Fourth Amendment issues, when the police are allowed to do something, when they're not allowed to do something. And so you have this kind of murky situation with regard to a detention, a lawful detention. It's not yet an arrest, and you're not, you might get chased down and charged with another crime if you just suddenly drive away. And so it is important to know when the stop is terminated. And the only way that we have been told that we can know this for sure is the question, am I being detained, or am I free to go?
So we have him asserting that, and eventually the police officer relents, says this is over, the traffic stop is over, and we get to this kind of fourth part where...
Okay, so I was milling around because I know I've seen this whole thing. If you guys want right now, the whole video, the whole interaction is 5 minutes, and I have it. So I'll cut off this video and let's watch the entire interaction from start to beginning, because this is super good. This is super good. It's 5 minutes from stop to finish. Let me share my screen on Twitter. If you guys are not following me on Twitter, it's @DeleteLaws.
Roll it down? Why do you pull me over?
I'll tell you that if you roll it down.
Why can't you tell me now?
Because the reason I pulled you over is you were yelling something from your car.
So what?
Huh?
So what? That's why you pull me over, because I'm yelling?
I don't know if you're in need of help or anything.
Oh, I don't need help.
So,
Thank you.
Okay, let me see your driver's license real quick.
I don't need help.
Okay, can I see your driver's license?
What for?
Can you use the turn signal when you make a turn?
Of course I did.
Let me see your driver's license.
You can hear the sound on the dash cam too.
Let me see your driver's license. You can just crack your window if that's what you want to do.
It's already cracked.
I can't see that.
Well,
This thing.
it doesn't matter. Here. I don't wish to answer questions.
You have to let me know if there's a weapon in the car. Did you not take the class?
I did.
Did they tell you you have to tell them?
When you demand identification, I have to display this. That's what they told me in the class. That's what the law says.
The officer wants to take the weapon.
And actually, if I don't display, there's really not much you can do, because there is no penalty attached to that. I have to carry this if I'm carrying this.
Are you carrying?
I don't answer questions.
Okay, so if you have a weapon in the car, then what?
You got one on your hip. So what?
Alcohol on your breath?
No, you don't.
How do I know?
Because you can't smell my breath?
I can smell something coming
Oh,
out.
really?
Let's see. Let me do some field sobriety.
I don't think so.
Okay. Yeah, where are you coming from?
Huh?
Where are you coming from?
You saw me where I was coming
Oh,
from.
I just saw you driving down.
Are you done with this?
I'm done with that, yeah.
All right, cool.
Where are you coming from?
I don't answer questions. I've already told you.
It's so cringe, isn't it? Because we all know we're not going to answer any questions. I don't answer any questions. It's so cringe. Put a 1 in the chat if it is so cringe that these Nazi cops are allowed to treat us this way when we're just traveling. Remember, he didn't do anything wrong. It was a welfare stop to begin with because he said F the police.
Let me know when I'm free to go.
Still desperate to find something to use in retaliation against Clear Lake, Deputy Vega inspects the lights on the front of the vehicle.
Also, what is your name? What's your name? Your name? Sheriff, that's your name? Sheriff?
Right above it, right there.
I'm not familiar with the English alphabet, sir. Okay, can I have an incident number, please? Oh, a ticket, okay.
While I have you here, okay, I don't want you exiting the vehicle because you have a weapon in the car.
Did I exit the vehicle? Did I exit the vehicle?
Give you a heads up.
Did I exit the vehicle? Hey, you do have a dash cam, right? Very good. You can't just pull me over because I said fuck the police. I hope you realize that. Stupid fuck.
A moment later, the deputy returns.
I'm sorry?
Do you have insurance on the vehicle?
Yeah,
Can you show it to me, please? It doesn't come back.
of course it comes back.
Not on my system, it doesn't. Also, it's not typical behavior for somebody to be yelling out of the vehicle. Have you had anything to drink tonight? Is that your current address?
Is that a question?
Yes, sir. Is that your current address?
Do I answer questions?
Okay, I'll just assume that's incorrect then.
And why would you do that? Did you read my address on the driver
It
license?
didn't have an apartment number on your driver's
Of course it does.
Let me see. Can you verify?
You've already seen it. I've already complied with that part.
I don't. But I'm just saying, you didn't have an apartment number
Of course it does.
on your driver license.
Man.
Okay, I'll be right back.
The officer returns a moment later and again initiates the discussion by showing his disdain for Clear Lake exercising his right to free speech.
Can I say that I've never met anybody quite like you that would yell at an officer doing their job? But
So
you have a great
let me
day.
understand.
No fines, no penalties.
Dude, shut up. Shut your trap. I've never met anybody quite like you. Obviously, we've never met, homie. What are you talking about? Harassing an officer doing his job? You're a road pirate. You're the terrorist. You're what I fear if I have to go out and get a burger tonight. If I'm going to go to the fast food joint and eat tonight, you're the problem for me, bruh. That's why he's so obstinate with you.
May I ask you a question?
Questions on there? There's the address.
Yeah, no, I have a question.
There's an incident
Can you get
number
your
on the thing right
supervisor here, please?
No,
Is the stop over?
The stop is over. You may leave.
All right.
Please don't exit until I get out.
Well, you said the stop is over, right? Okay, I'm not getting out. I will. Okay, there is no need to draw your weapon, man. Are you fucking drawing your weapon, you fucker?
Don't get out of the car.
I didn't get out of the car. You told me that already.
I'm giving you direct orders.
Yeah. Did I get out of the car?
Shut the door.
Go fuck yourself.
That's exactly right.
Oh my God, how cringe. He pulled his gun out on this guy. How I would sue his ass.
Yeah, right over there you can.
Oh my God. How freaking cringe.
Can I say
Question.
that I've never met anybody quite like you that would
You've never met anybody quite like him, huh? Nice. This is how you put a cop in their place. So unbelievable. Unbelievable. You cops are being taught to be such beta male cuck cowards. You're being taught that. For all the cops out there who contact me, and for all the ex-cops who contact me, you are quite literally being taught to be scared of everybody and everything. And if anybody else has a weapon besides you, which mine's right here, then you're scared. Are you scared that my gun's right here, Copper? Are you scared? My gun is for my own self-protection. It's not to attack the coppers. Let me reprogram you. You know how they always say cops need more training? Let me help you guys. Here's more training. Every person like me who carries a gun does not want to shoot a cop and have their whole life ruined. Whether you live or die from being shot is irrelevant in this scenario if you're being the Thomas Hobbes version of humanity, which Thomas Hobbes believed that everybody did only for themselves. Everything they did was a selfish motivation, everything. So if you're going to shoot a cop, your life as you know it is completely over. How many people want to do that? Zero. Well, nutballs, crazies. Can you imagine he said F the police because of how you guys behave and because of that behavior right there, Copper? I don't know of anybody who wants to have a shootout with cops unless they want to die. I'm sorry. Okay.
Did you lock them? Camera. Lock them. You gotta lock them all. Lock them. My battery's probably almost dead. Lock them. Rolling? Yep. Are we rolling? Mm-hmm. What is your name and badge number? I need your ID number. 483. What's your emergency? How can I help you? I don't need to.
Please go your hard way. Walk away here with a couple of things. I can place you under arrest. You're going to please cooperate with me?
I don't.
Tagging on the vehicle is not inspected.
I don't need to.
I'm going to get my phone and I'm going to call.
I don't
call
need
them.
to separate. I feel safe.
I'm going to
right
call
here.
the police for you. I'll call the state police.
I'm not required to.
She's going to call the state police. She's going to call more cops to the scene.
You are required to.
I am not.
Listen, I'm going to tell you something right now. If you don't open this door and you get out of the car, I'm going to break the window and pull you out.
He is correct. They have every right to do under Pennsylvania versus Mims to get you out of the car in the name of officer safety, but there would be a far stretch here. She's not in jeopardy.
Okay? So you decide how you want to handle this.
Don't
No,
break
you're
my
not
personal property. Do not break my. I am.
Are you threatening her life?
I am.
I need to pray.
I am a traveler, not for commerce and not for transportation.
Good job. Excellent fucking job. You rock. Unbelievable, Mom. My phone's almost dead.
I swear, if they break your window,
He's not going to. He's just threatening. Not going to do anything.
I'm not refusing to cooperate. I'm not answering questions.
You don't have to. You don't have to
I
say
don't
anything.
have
I'm
to
calling
step
the
out of
state
the car.
police.
Please don't
I
touch
am
my
going
car.
to break this window.
You don't break my window of my personal property.
Step out of the car.
You know what?
I am not. I feel safe right here. Thank
I
you.
need the state police to Lehigh
I need a
Pennsylvania has a
I
Dunkin'
need a
Donuts by White
supervisor.
Store.
I am the
There is
supervisor.
a police
I
officer
need
about to
someone-
make my fucking
Oh!
children in this car. Please send someone here right now.
Step
I
out.
am not consenting. I am not consenting. You son of a bitch.
Get out of the car.
I am not getting out of
don't show your papers to the king's keepers, well, women and children aren't safe either. You have to show your papers. You will kneel before the emperor and you will kiss the brass ring. And if you don't, there is no limit that they will go to hurt you. I mean, oh yeah, this is someone sent this to me, but this is one of John Eagle's videos. I really love John's work. I'll show one of John's work. It's yeah, let's watch it. Let's watch it. Someone sent this to me, but he does a nice job of putting stuff together. So let's watch his work. And this is pretty good. I always like to make sure I take a look at whose work it is. And, you know, when I go down here and I highlight like this, you know, like number one, I was subscribed to John. I don't know why I'm not anymore, but now I'm resubscribed. And so thanks, John. And you guys get over here and tell him Delete Laws sent you. You know, he does a lot of coverage of a lot of different work. He does some good stuff here. So check this out. There's no camp, you know, the first 30 seconds is
17-year-old high school senior Bryce Masters was driving his car in Independence, Missouri. Officer Timothy Runnels, with 7 years on the job while on patrol, ran Bryce's license plate, which revealed that he had a warrant associated with the plate. Officer Runnels pulled Bryce over and approached him on his passenger side and asked him to roll the window down. Even though the window worked perfectly fine, Masters didn't roll the window down all of the way.
Oh, there it is again, right? There it is again. We've seen now what? We've seen this on 3 videos tonight. We've seen it on 3 videos that if you don't roll the window down all the way on all 3 videos tonight, one cop smashed the window. She cracked it. She didn't want to get out of the car. She didn't feel safe. The guy who flexed his rights with the Second Amendment and a concealed carry license, he didn't want to roll the window down all the way. The cop was throwing a fit. And if they put one in the chat, if anybody remembers this Bryce case, you guys remember this? I actually know. I haven't seen John's breakdown of it yet, but when I saw it was about Bryce, I was like, oh, I've seen this before. So this is brutal.
Roll all the way down. I can't hear you. You gotta roll all the way down. You can't hear me? Roll it all the way down. I can hear you. Roll it all the way down. For what?
This is where things are about to go sideways. Officer Runnels walks around to Bryce's driver door and opens it and told him to get out. Bryce refused and asked him for what and if he was under arrest. Officer Runnels never told Bryce why he even stopped him in the first place. Also, Officer Runnels never requested Bryce's driver's license, registration, or insurance documents.
Is this one open? Yeah, what are you doing? Get out. For what? Out. Now. For what? Out. Hey, am I under arrest? Get out. Am I under arrest? Out. I'm going to pull you if you don't get out. Pardon me a second. Get out. You really want to get tased right here in the middle of your car? What? Get your ass
I mean, I want you guys to remember this is a kid. He's a teenager still.
out now. I haven't done anything, officer. I haven't done anything, officer.
So like, look how big this dude is. Pulled this car over, and now he just can't wait to grab this kid and jerk him out of the car. What kind of human being wants to do this? And why do you got to get him out of the car? What's the deal? Why'd you even pull him over?
What? Am I under arrest? Yeah. Am I under arrest? Am I under arrest? Am I under arrest? Come out of the car. Am I under arrest? Am I under arrest? Am I under arrest? In your hand. You're under arrest. For what? Yeah. For what? For what?
Look
all right, fine. Fuck it. Just get out. Out.
What?
Out right now. Out of the car. Out of the car.
What an embarrassment. What a scum.
When Officer Runnels fired his taser at Bryce, one of the barbs landed in his chest and the other hit his stomach. It began to shock Bryce. He wasn't able to move or lay down on the street, where he lost consciousness. Officer Runnels then handcuffed Bryce's hands behind his back.
On the ground. Out of the car, on the ground. On the ground. Ah! I told you. And
You hear that? You hear that like the rattlesnake sound underneath of it? Listen to the rat. That's a taser going off.
ground. Ah! I told you. Hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back.
Officer
Look at the size of this kid.
Runnels kept the taser trigger engaged from the time he shot Masters until he placed Bryce in handcuffs.
Yeah, see, this is why I like John's channel, because and get over here, subscribe to his channel, y'all. Make sure you say Delete Laws sent you over here. Drop some comments for him. Hit the like button for him.
When the lawsuit was filed, the prosecution and defense agreed that the tasering of Bryce lasted almost 20 seconds long, which is 4 cycles of the taser.
We heard it. We heard it going click, 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 click. I'm glad John has given us the case of the facts of the case.
While being tasered, Bryce complied the whole time until he fell unconscious.
What a sicko! You're cuffing up a I mean, listen, I'm a mature man at this point in my life, so I'm a middle-aged man at the medium. So you know, a boy in front of me who's unconscious, I want to put him in torture cuffs. Are you sure? I want to flip him over and see if he's all right. Put some water on his face, try to wake him up. Okay, so, you know, John didn't show it because he can't, or his video will be demonetized. But what this guy did, let me just show you guys what he did. So what that copper did is, when he had both of Bryce's elbows like this, and so then when he pinched his elbows together, he pulled him up, he lifted him up waist high. So I'm up waist high here, and then he just dropped him down on the pavement. So he smacked his. I'll let John explain what else happened here, but that, I'm just letting you guys know what you don't see happening here is. So he's got him by the back of the elbows right there, and his chest is down. He's in torture cuffs. So the man is being drugged waist high by this guy who we saw how big he was. So he's dragging him with his whole body between his legs, dragging him along. And then right here, you see this concrete curb right here? He's going to drop him, and he's going to hit on the concrete. So see that? Boom. You can see it. He's got him by both of his elbows right there. It looks like, are the torture cuffs on? I'm pretty sure the torture cuffs were on. I saw the original video. And then he drops him right on his face. See that? So he's face down, unconscious. Oh, dude. That's the sound of brain damage right there. That's the sound of brain damage. He's going into a seizure now, I believe, at this point.
You don't like to play by the rules, do you?
When Officer Runnels dropped Bryce on the street, he broke 4 of his teeth, as well as causing deep lacerations to his chin. The taser stopped Bryce's heart and caused him to suffer convulsions due to a lack of oxygen to his brain, just over a half of a minute after Officer Runnels fired the taser at him.
You want to sit up? Huh? You want to sit up? Bryce. Sir, sit up. I don't play games. sit up. You just gonna lay there on your side?
Wow.
Yes? Huh?
Wow.
That's fine.
That's fine. I mean, imagine this is your cousin. This is your kid. This is your best friend. This is your brother. No care. He's doing nothing. The guy's going into
You ready
convulsions.
to sit up now?
No, he's not.
I've been tased a dozen times. He doesn't act like that.
He tased him in the chest, in the heart.
He doesn't want to sit up, so I figure I'm not going to make him until ambulance gets here. The only person in the car. I pulled him over because he ducked me as soon as I got behind him. Went to the gas station, it has a warrant on the plate. I go to the window, I tell him to roll it down. He won't roll it down. So I go to the driver's side, tell him to open the door. He won't open the door. So the door opens. Tell him to get out. He won't get out. Start supporting everything. Tell him to get out. You're under arrest. Doesn't get out. So I tell him I want to tase him. Doesn't get out. So I tase him. Because he starts fighting in the car. If he doesn't want to get out, starts kicking. So rather than fighting him in his own car, and then I just walked him over here and he started doing this.
Where you fall and hit his chin?
He went limp on me, so I told him I was going to sit him down. So
What? He went limp on me?
Try to fight.
yeah, he tried to fight me in the car.
What? That little dude didn't try to fight at all.
I want to just get in the air, man.
Yeah,
Here, it's blue. I didn't touch it.
you want to?
Well,
See if we can get a move right?
It's your guy, but
Let's try to get. He's turning blue on us, it looks like.
yeah,
Look.
it's blue.
What?
You breathing at all? Oh, wow, guys. Hey, get fired, right, would you?
Oh, wow, guys.
By the time EMS workers arrived, Bryce Masters had been in cardiac arrest for more than 7 minutes without any medical aid. Bryce had already turned blue by the time he was administered CPR.
How long was he down, guys? He was down before you guys got here, maybe 2 minutes. 2 minutes? Maybe. All right. All right. You okay? For a fucking dime sack of weed, you motherfucker!
Put that in your pocket. Do not let your eyes off of that.
Sitting at the whole thing.
Right, you alright?
Fuck you!
We'll wait on your porch, alright? Who's fucking arrested? Who tased? The fucking window! You got yourself up, man. No! Hey, I'm not even gonna fucking touch
Get my fucking badge.
Get the badge.
Don't fucking touch it.
Who tased him? I want to know. You?
Why don't you step over there and calm down?
You tased him.
Why don't you step over there and calm down?
I mean, put a 1 in the chat if you're as boiling pissed off as I am. Like, what in the hell? This is happening everywhere, all over our country, all the time. The gig is up, cops. We know interacting with you is going to be sterile. It's going to be sterile.
Well, there's no question that the attorneys for Bryce Masters definitely did their homework. This is a detailed account of everyone those attorneys believe is responsible for Bryce Masters' brain damage and why. Now, what started as a normal traffic stop ended with a 17-year-old in a coma fighting for his life. Bryce Masters survived, but he is not the same. In the lawsuit filed in federal court, it says he has brain damage, trouble, stress disorder, and insomnia. Bryce's lawyers blame the Taser company and its CEO, claiming they knew the Taser was too strong and, quote, The substantial increase in the electrical current made the taser much more powerful, but also increased cardiac risk. Now, the lawsuit also blames the City of Independence and the Independence Police Chief, Tom Daly, and Officer Timothy Runnels, alleging that they knew or reasonably should have known that Officer Runnels had a history of misbehavior. Now, according to this lawsuit, Runnels was forced to resign from the Kansas City Police Department because of poor judgment and a bad temper. I reached out to the Taser Company and Independence Police. They would not comment on a pending lawsuit.
Defendant Timothy Runnels was subsequently terminated from the police department, stemming from this stop. After an FBI investigation, defendant Runnels was indicted on 2 counts of deprivation of rights under color of law, 1 for the prolonged tasering of Bryce and 1 for dropping Bryce to the asphalt, and 2 charges of obstruction of justice. On September 11, 2015, Runnels pled guilty to the deprivation of rights charge for dropping Bryce on
September 11th is my birthday. On that day, this piggy pled guilty.
and 2 charges of obstruction of justice. On September 11, 2015, Runnels pled guilty to the deprivation of rights charge for dropping Bryce on his face. The remaining charges were dismissed and Runnels was sentenced to 48 months in prison. He told the judge that he never intended to injure Bryce Masters and apologized to his parents. He was released from prison in January of 2020. On September 26 of 2016, Bryce sued defendant Runnels for violating his civil rights. Masters sued him for violating his Fourth Amendment right by the use of excessive force for tasering him, prolonging the taser, and dropping him on his face. On December 14th of 2018, the jury awarded Bryce $5 million in compensatory damages and $1.5 million in punitive damages.
My son's going to hospital. You got a brother in blue. You tased his son and sent him to the hospital doing CPR. Tell me what's going on. I'm going to tell you something. I don't know.
Oh, it's a cop's son. Did you hear that? Did you hear that?
You got a brother.
$1 million in punitive damages.
My son's going to hospital. You got a brother in blue. You tased his son and sent him to the hospital.
It's a copper. They're all coppers.
Tell me what's going on. I'm going to tell you something. I don't know.
Bryce Masters' father is a police officer with the Kansas City Police Department. And so Bryce Masters' father, sorry, bruh, this is what you do to people as well. Maybe you don't drop people on their faces, but you subject people to the same kind of tyrannical garbage.
Tell me what's going on. I'm going to tell you something. I don't know. I've been on 18 years, dude. I ain't a fucking rookie. I know this shit, all right? I've been a narcotics officer. I've done all this shit. This is fucking bullshit. I'm furious. This is bullshit, man. Well, you know. He's 17 years old. Okay. He's a senior in high school.
Hey, copper screaming that it happened to your kid. It's everybody's kid. It's the war on drugs, copper. What are you talking about? You hear him? Did you hear him whining and crying that it's his kid? It's all of our children, bruh. All of the 17-year-old kids, all different colors, all living under tyrannical police state, prison state, death state that you supply. He said, I've been a narcotics officer. So you didn't drop people on their heads, but you ruined their fucking life, bro, over your job. So you get bonuses and accolades and promotions. You are the same as this guy. You just didn't drop a kid on his face, and it happened to be your kid. But don't try to pull some high ground. I've been a cop for 15 years. I've been a narcotics officer. You are the problem, bruh. So don't take the I didn't do that. I take the high road. You ruined families' lives so you would get a frickin' trophy. Don't even start with me. Oh, you're good, bro.
He's 17 years old.
They all are, bruh.
He's a senior in high school.
They all are, bruh.
Do what? What do you think? We got to. They yanked him out of the car because he wouldn't roll the window
You do the same thing, you hypocrite.
That's right. Bryce Masters' father is also a police officer.
Yeah, we got
this
it.
isn't the ultimate
We
back
got
to
it,
blue
John.
until it happens to you. I don't know what is.
It is, John. So there's John Eagle's channel. Get over there and subscribe to him. He's got it. I'll drop the link in the chat real quick. And then I want to show you another video. This is just like it just, here's the link for that channel. It just ticks me off beyond the pale for, you know, and people to get upset that somebody they love is a victim of the war on drugs because it happened to their kid. Like John said at the end of that video, that was the ultimate back to blue until it happens to you. Like, he is the father of the son who was in a coma that had the brain damage. He was the guy who arrested other people's kids. And maybe he didn't put them in a coma, but maybe he ruined their life just as bad or worse by charging them with drugs when we all know that we're not going to criminalize our way out of drugs. It's not going to happen. I'm Colombian. Colombians who came over dealing cocaine, they had to because their life was on the line, and also the financial incentive was life-changing for them. So I take a risk, but if I get through, my life is better for me and my whole family. So it's just so ridiculous. We just keep on arresting people, and it's just driving me batshit crazy. You know,
The Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department has launched.
Oh, sorry about that. That's one I already saw. This is the one I wanted to share. And I think the original video, let me see if the original video for this one is in the comments below. Yeah. So this is my buddy Brian from Here's the Deal. If you guys haven't been over there, go over and subscribe to his channel. I'll let him do the intro for this because we're only going to watch a second of the intro, and then we're going to watch the original video. So quick shout out to my buddy Brian. Get over here. He's how I found the video. So I'm going to show you guys the original video, but check this out.
To harass a man because this state trooper decided to harass a man because, well, we don't know because he won't tell us.
What I do?
I'll get your driver's license and I'll explain it to you.
I'm working on it. No, what I do first?
Get your driver's license and
No, what I put? What do you pull me over for? Tell me that first. You have to tell me why you pull me over.
Identify you first.
No, you don't. No, what do you pull me over for first in this situation? You don't know me. I don't know you. No.
Listen to me. Get out of the
No.
Get out
There's
of the
my license
Get
right
out of the
there.
truck. You're being disorderly.
No.
You're being a lawful command. Get out
There's
of the
my
vehicle.
license. It's not a
Get out of
lawful
the vehicle.
command. No.
Get out of the vehicle.
No.
Get
There's
out of
no
the vehicle.
reason for this. Do not do that. No.
Get out of the car. Get out of the truck.
Pull his
Get
hair.
out of the truck right now.
Pull his
There's
hair.
no reason for this. You
Get
did
out of
this
the
to my
truck.
son.
Get out of the truck.
No.
Look at this
Get
guy.
out of the truck.
There's my
Get out of the
license right
truck.
there.
Look at this
No.
guy. Pulling his hair.
No. Stop it.
Whoa, pull his tasers
Get
out.
out of the truck.
Stop it.
Get out of the truck.
This cop chose to harass and fine a man for pulling over on the side of the highway and taking pictures.
Well, I didn't know this was a park. I thought
Where did you think you were? Whose property did you think you were on?
they should have signage or something here.
Well, let me ask you this.
I don't know.
So I want you guys to get over there to my buddy's channel, subscribe to that channel, because now I want to show you the full length video of that stop of where he literally wants him to get out of the car. And I found the video here. So I think it's this one right here. Let me see if it is. Yep. So here's that full stop. This is great. So thanks, Brian, for showing us the way here. And now I want to show this video. So this guy's got 13,000 subs. I'll subscribe to his channel. Give him a thumbs up for bringing in the light. Right on, bro.
Yes, sir.
Driver's license, proof of insurance.
What'd I do?
I'll get your driver's license and I'll explain it to you.
I'm working on it. No, what'd I do first? Why you pull me over?
You get your driver's license and
No,
I'll
what'd you pull me over for? Tell me that first.
Sir, let me explain something to you.
And what's your, I know the law. No, you have to tell me why you pull me over.
I don't have to tell you
Bullshit.
why. Listen to me.
I have driver's
I have to
license.
identify you first.
No, you don't. You have my tag number right there. Are you J Trooper? K Trooper?
Driver's
Who
license
are you?
and proof of insurance.
No, what did you pull me over for first?
Sir, you can be difficult.
I do a why. I'm not trying to be difficult. I'm just telling you. I'm not. And you're also, anyway, I'm just asking, why did you pull me over first? I did one wide open throttle. I'm a diagnostic mechanic. And you also pulled my son over the same thing, too, Caleb Miller. You sent me at Roses one time with an open carry weapon. I'm just asking, and I know Jamie Atkins and all the bunch, whatever, but why did you pull me over? Why? Need to
So he says right here, listen.
Roses one time with an open carry weapon. I'm just asking, and I know Jamie Atkins.
And he knows Jamie Atkins and all the bunch is what he says. Jamie Atkins must be the sheriff or someone around there. But listen, he's going to go on about Jamie Atkins a few times. I've seen this already.
All the bunch, whatever. But why did you pull me over? Why? Need to do that first. No, you have my tag number. You can run it and get my name.
This tag number doesn't mean it comes back to the driver's vehicle.
It does show the insurance though on stuff.
Listen, that's correct.
No,
I
but
still-
tell me why. You have to tell me why you pull me over. You haven't identified yourself yet. I see a uniform. I see a vehicle. Okay. Why did you pull me over? I did a wide open throttle. Real quick. I'm a diagnostic mechanic. I'm working on a truck, and I'm heading toward a guy's house to help me with it in Columbia.
Let me explain something.
I am listening. No, you don't have to explain. That's a cop's plane. No.
I need to identify who I'm speaking with. I'll explain to you why.
I
I'm
am
trying to
Robert B. Henschling. My birthday is 6/22/6.
That's funny. That's a cop's plane.
Let me explain something.
I am listening. No, you don't have to explain. That's a cop's plane. No.
I need to identify who I'm speaking with. I'll explain to you why.
I
I'm
am
trying to
Robert B. Henschling. My birthday is 6/22/62. I own this truck, and I have registration and everything. You don't have to know that. Tell me why you pulled me over. I know who you are, and I know you know Jamie Atkins. Sorry,
Jamie Atkins.
Okay. I'm not naming names, but you have to tell me, you know, who you are. Identify yourself. You do. I own this truck. You can run my tag number. Brand new tag, brand new license. Tell me why. There's my proof of insurance. It has my name on it right there. I don't have to hand this to you. All I have to do is just show you. I'm not trying to be difficult. I'm asserting my right. No, I'm a nice guy. I'm a really nice guy.
Am I not being?
You are, but I don't have to. I don't have to do that. No. Tell me why you put me over.
Can you guys do me a favor? Just real quick. Everybody drop in the comments where you're watching from. I just want to see who's new in the room. Just hit right in the comments, put where you're watching from and hit the like button. Just real quick, just hit the like button. And let's go back to this video right here.
I don't have to do that. No. Tell me why you put me over. Tell me. No. In fact, I locked the doors or I went up a little bit too. I just need to ask. I'm going to a friend's house in Columbia right now. I did one wide open throttle on my truck. I just took it 1,200 mile round trip. Jamie knows that. I sent him all the information, whatever. You know, I did one wide open throttle. I was not reckless driving. I did one wide open throttle on the truck. I let off. I saw you way back there, sitting back there. I have you on video right there.
That's fine. You're being on video on my video.
That's fine. That's really cool. I appreciate that. I really do.
You want to step out your truck?
No, I'm not stepping out.
You want to step out your truck?
No.
There's no reason to be difficult.
There's no reason to
There's
step
two
out
ways
either.
this can go.
There's no reason
Look, I'm
either.
gonna give you a couple options.
No.
You can either get out of the vehicle or give me a license.
I can give you my license, but I'm not stepping out of the vehicle.
Give me a license.
No. It's very dangerous for me to be out, stepping out, you know, in this situation. You don't know me. I don't know you. No.
Listen, get out of the
No.
Get out of
There's
the
my
truck.
license
Get out
right
of the
there.
truck. You're being disorderly.
No.
You're giving a lawful command. Get out
There's
of the
my
vehicle.
license. It's not a
Get out of the
lawful
vehicle.
command. No. No.
Get out of the vehicle.
No.
Get
There's
out of
no
the vehicle.
reason for this.
Quit reaching under the seat. You leave it like
My gun's over there. There's no reason for this. Here's my brand new license. Jamie just got me this license. Do not do that. No.
Get out of the car. Get out of the truck. Get out of the truck right now.
There's no reason for this. You
Get out
did
of the
this to my
truck.
son.
Get out of the truck.
No. There-
You're
There's
under arrest
no
for
reason.
You're under arrest for disorderly conduct.
I didn't do anything.
Failure to obey a lawful command. Get out of the
bullshit.
truck.
There's no
Get out of the
license
truck.
right there. No.
Pulling his
No.
hair.
No. Stop it.
Get out of the truck.
Stop it.
Get out of the truck. Get out of the
You can
truck.
call Jamie Atkins right now.
Jamie
Get out of the
Atkins.
truck.
I have my license on. I have my seatbelt on. I didn't do anything wrong.
Get out of the truck.
No.
Call Jamie Atkins.
You call R37 right now.
Get out of the vehicle.
No.
Get out of the
No.
truck.
No. Stop it. There's no reason for this bullshit now.
I tried to tell you that. It smells like you've been drinking.
No, I'm not
Get out of the truck.
drinking. No.
Get out of the truck. I'm gonna
No.
tase you. You understand? Get out of the vehicle.
No.
Get out of
Tase
the
me if you
vehicle.
want to.
Get out
Tase
of
me.
the vehicle. Get out of the vehicle.
Tase me. Tase me. That shit don't bother me. You understand? Stop
Get
it.
out of the truck.
Stop it.
Get out of the truck.
Stop it.
I'm not sure if you guys noticed how he just shook off a
Tase me if you want to.
Get out
Tase
of
me.
the vehicle. Get out of the vehicle.
Tase me. Tase me. That shit don't bother me. You understand? Stop
Get
it.
out of
Wow.
the truck.
Stop it.
Get out of the truck.
Stop it. Look, stop it.
Quit reaching. Quit reaching.
I'm not
Quit
reaching.
reaching. Quit
My
trying to put
gun
your
is over
goddamn.
there. Stop it.
Oh, elbow.
Stop it.
3-4 elbows.
Stop this. De-escalate.
Haysburg.
You hear me?
Haysburg, give me some assistance here. I need assistance on traffic stop.
Stop it.
I want to beat this guy up.
I haven't done anything wrong.
I want to beat him up. That's what he wants to do. He wants
Stop moving.
He's not.
I ain't done anything.
He's just been sitting in the same place the whole time.
Haysburg, I need some assistance. Highway 98, westbound.
I haven't done anything.
You got a subject not want to exit the vehicle.
Stop it.
Get out of the truck
Okay,
now.
you saw me.
Get out of the truck.
You saw me.
Another elbow.
You saw me.
Oh, another. Oh,
Get out of the truck.
You
look. This is a savage, felonious, vicious attack. He is no risk. He just doesn't want to get out of his car. Let's say he's drunk. Let's say he's wasted. Whatever. The risk is gone. This is a savage attack.
Stop it.
Get out of.
Look, he's even getting the elbow ready to strike the man in the face as he holds the other arm down.
Truck
Okay.
now.
Look at that. That's terrible.
You saw me.
Get out of the truck.
You saw me. You saw me.
Look at that. You could do permanent damage to his cheekbone, to his eye, to his jaw. For what? Why would you want to do that to another person? Oh my God.
Get out of the truck.
You saw
And then he's driving his elbow into his neck.
me. It rose his bar.
You can see it right there. His arm across his neck, driving his weight into his body. Of his body weight into his neck.
Barbecue
I
one
don't
time.
care.
I'm not a violent person.
But he is.
You're
You are being violent.
Get out of.
Yes, he is. He's choking him with his arm. You could hear you hear him when he spoke, his air is being cut off. Listen to his voice.
Don't care.
I'm not a violent person.
Well, you're
You are being violent.
Get out of the truck.
No.
Oh, another
No.
another
Get out of the truck.
No.
I mean, what a coward. What a coward.
Get out of the truck. Get out of the truck. Get out. Get out.
Let me
Get
go.
out. Step out of the truck.
Vicious. You got him, Copper.
I'm here to help. Put your hand on his back. Put your hand, boy. Come on, I'll kick your ass.
Put your hands behind your back. We have to shoot this motherfucker.
What?
Hands behind your back. We have to shoot this motherfucker.
Who's this guy?
All right, I got one. Come on, fat boy.
Look at this guy who has no idea how to grapple at all. No clue. You grab him by his legs, not by... What is that?
Does he got a gun? Okay. I got one.
Just so you guys know, neither one of these guys know how to grapple. They'd be underneath of his armpits if they did.
Hey, go! I can't breathe. Well, you got the... I can't breathe. I can't breathe. Let me out. I can't breathe. Let me out. Let me out, please. Let me out. I can't breathe. I have asthma. I have asthma. I can't breathe. You're talking. You're breathing. I can't breathe. Let me out. I can't breathe, please. Let me out. Let me out.
All right.
Let me out.
All right.
Let me out.
All right. You're going to be all right.
No, I'm not.
There you go.
Let me out. I can't breathe. Let me out.
Hold your feet.
Let me out.
Roll up. Stand up.
I can't breathe.
You're breathing. You're talking.
Quit pushing on me.
Stand up.
I'm not resisting.
Stand up.
Ugh.
He's exhausted.
You never told me I was under arrest.
Yeah, dude, I said you're under arrest for disorderly conduct. Stand up.
Disorderly conduct?
Stand up.
You were the one that's disorderly. Son of a bitch.
21 has, bro. We got him in custody. Yes, sir.
Put a 1 in the chat if this guy is such a coward. Throwing elbows on a guy who's not fighting him. You are the biggest beta male. I mean, let's just all take a moment. You know, we should find out that piggy's name. We should all just take a moment and just appreciate the biggest male cuck you have seen in the United States of America is this man right here. So, just so you know, elbows in fighting are reserved for MMA, mixed martial arts, in the cage. You don't elbow strike people in just a fist fight in the street. You don't elbowing people in the face can kill them. It can rearrange their face. It can break their face. It can cut your skin deeply, cause deep gashes from your tip of your elbow going across the face. That guy, this beta male cuck right here, was throwing elbows at a guy who was sitting in the driver's seat of a car. You are a beta male cuck, bro. You are a beta male cuck. You are the biggest beta male cuck ever. Elbowing isn't even allowed in most amateur fighting. You can't throw elbows in most amateur fights. In mixed martial arts. Can't do it. It's illegal. Especially when a guy is down. And he would have been down because he was seated with his seatbelt on. You beta male cuck. So anyway, I just want to take a moment to point that out, that this guy is such a cuck. I mean, I don't know what happened with this guy, you know. Yeah, you are such a bitch, bro. I'm sorry. Forgive me. He just really is. He makes me sick. You don't elbow another man in the face who's not actively trying to beat your children or rape your wife. You don't elbow somebody in the face. You don't do that to another person.
One way.
He's got to wiggle the torture cuffs on because he's a big dude. So he's just trying to whittle the guy's skin and bones and ligaments into place so he can get him in the torture cuffs. See him? You see it? Watch his arms. He's trying to contort his wrists and forearms so that they'll turn properly to get into the torture cuffs. Watch.
I'm not a threat to you.
Let go.
Let go of what?
Let go of my handcuffs.
Motherfucker. I can't breathe. Quit pushing on me. I ain't a threat to you.
21.
Call Jamie Atkins right now.
Go ahead.
Jamie Atkins.
I'm all down and out with the cage just in case you need any transport.
Yeah, simple. We'll get whoever's acting supervisor moving from the plane.
I'm supervisor right now.
Beta male cuck elbows guys in the face when they're not fighting him. Beta male cuck.
Taylor J14.
My goddamn team.
You're an embarrassment to every person who ever knew you. You went to high school with, you went to college with. I don't think anybody you played sports with, anybody who ever knew you, bro, you are an embarrassment. Anybody who has ever trained seriously for any kind of combat sport ever has no respect for you right this second, bro.
You never tell me what I've been pulled over for.
Now I got your license. You're pulled over for 84 to 65.
I'm headed by J14.
Go ahead, Asbury.
J21 needs your identification. Highway 98 just west of North White Creek Road.
I did it right up in front of your cuffs for killing me because they ain't big enough.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm about to go double on it.
They ain't
Just
big
calm down.
enough. Stop! Quit!
He's gonna help you, man. Just
I
quiet.
will not resist arrest, and I will resist pain.
We're gonna help you.
You hear me?
He's gonna help you.
That's all right. Call Jamie Atkins right now.
All right.
Our supervisor, get out of here right now. Stay true. R37. Get out of here.
Oh,
I'm trying. I was going over you. Oh, I didn't. Fuck you. I was trying to ask you, why did I get pulled over?
Who is this dude? What the fuck? Really? Get the flock out, bro. Go have a ham sandwich.
You went to I can give you different
way.
ways.
You went the hard way.
My damn tag, legal right there. Legal. Everything's fucking legal.
What are they doing to this man? Is this surgery? They're shackling him like a pig.
No shit. What they do when I am no threat to you. No threat. You call Jamie Atkins. I know you know him. R37. Call him right now. J Crew. This is bullshit. Ow, god damn it.
Torture. Torture.
Get your freaking leg thing on it. I'm no threat to you.
Torture cuffs. He's being tortured.
Ah.
I'm gonna help a little bit. Help you, sir.
No, he's not. He's an asshole. He did not tell me why I was being pulled over. He has to tell that to me. Well, he would have. No,
You got your license, well, you got a ticket. You've been on your way.
no refusal to identify. That's a secondary offense. You hear me?
Yeah, we'll see.
Bullshit. I know the law.
Let me ask you this, sir. Are you a felon? Are you convicted?
No, I'm not a felon.
You ever been to prison?
No, I've never. I got arrested for malicious bullshit.
Okay. Everything's gonna be all right.
Oh,
Let's stand over here, though.
Right.
Let's stand over.
Stand. Quit pushing me. I'll go on. Quit
Come
pushing
on.
me.
Come on. Walk over here, please, sir. Walk over here.
Where's my goddamn key?
I will get your key.
My gut? No,
I'll
you
see
don't.
one.
You don't give a fuck. You don't give a goddamn.
Sit on the key.
Quit pushing.
All right, listen to him. Get over here and sit down. Please sit down.
Fuck that.
All right, come on.
Let's go. Where can I go?
You go to that tailgate.
Where's my goddamn key?
Go get him.
So if you guys want to get over here, subscribe to this guy, Traffic. Let's see if we can get a follow-up on this. I dropped to here. Is there a follow-up on this? I'd like to see the follow-up on that bad chicken. I would like to know. So then I think oh, this one here. This also came from my buddy Brian over at Here's the Deal. So, but this is a short video. It's only like 8 minutes.
How you doing, sir? Could you come on back here, please? How you doing?
Good.
Hey, I'm State Park Police Officer Lily Bridge. The reason I stopped, I didn't see a permit on your vehicle to be in the park.
This is a park? I'm going along a highway.
Okay, but you're not along the highway if you're out walking around on the property.
Well, I didn't know this was a park. I thought
Where did you think you were? Whose property did you think you were on?
Whose
the
property?
park, as far as the boundary goes, is that road over.
I mean, you little freaking, you little runt.
I didn't know this was a park. I thought
Who do you think you were? Whose property did?
Who do you think you were? Is that what he just said? That's what I thought. I thought he said, "Who do you think you are?" But he said, "Who do you think you were?"
Around on the property.
Well, I didn't know this was a park. I thought.
Listen.
Who do you think you were?
Oh, it's were.
Whose property did you think you were on?
The park, as far as the boundary goes, is that road over. Well, I didn't know that.
Do you have identification on?
Yeah. Is it? Yeah,
Yeah,
they
so-
should have signage.
Wow, he's a nice guy. This guy's a tyrant, and he just gives him his identification.
Or something here.
Well, let me ask you this.
I don't know.
We have 315,000 acres. How many signs should we put up?
Should we put up?
What would be appropriate?
Maybe every mile.
Every mile.
Yeah.
Really?
They have
So-
other.
So you want to break up this? You're out here to photograph, and you know, I'm assuming you're in photography. You got a pretty expensive setup looking there. So you would have this broken up by a sign every mile. This viewscape. If I understand you correctly.
Well, you haven't seen the other parts of the border that have been absolutely mutilized. So I have.
Okay.
I've traveled the entire border.
Okay. But how do you know I haven't seen parts of that border?
Then you wouldn't say. Then you wouldn't say that it would be ruined. A sign would be.
I mean, put a 1 in the chat if this dude just looks like a tyrant and talks like a tyrant. If it looks like a duck and talks like a duck and walks like a duck, it must be a fucking duck.
Ruining the environment.
I didn't say it'd be ruining the environment. I said it'd break up the viewscape quite a bit, and that's not really what we're going for in the state park.
Okay. Well. Okay. I didn't know. As far as the boundary goes, when I looked at on my GPS and on my maps on my Garmin, that is delineated as a state park.
Okay. No, sorry, you can't always trust what you see on Google, Garmin, all that stuff. I don't know where they always.
Then how would I know that it's this is a state park?
Well, then whose property did you think you were on?
I have no. It could be the state. I don't know. It's
So-
not private. It doesn't say
But how
private.
do you know that?
Okay.
He's on the side of the road. There's a public easement there somewhere.
Go ahead and write me a ticket or do whatever you need to do.
You want to have.
So see, the cop's name was Brian Lillybridge, rogue officer named Brian Lillybridge. Texas Parks and Wildlife has a rogue officer named Brian Lillybridge.
This debate, but I mean,
I'm not going to debate. So
Okay,
just go
I'll
ahead and
tell
do what you need
I'll
to do.
join you up there by your vehicle, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Jesus.
So wait a minute. He can't park on the side of the road? Who's been here the whole time? Who's been here the entire time in this live stream for the last hour and 45 minutes? Because I want to ask you a question. Do you remember we watched the video earlier from Texas and the two attorneys in Texas when they were talking about the Second Amendment case? where they said that in Texas, they regulate every part of the road, every single part of it in multiple ways. And so if you've been here since the beginning of this long, almost 2-hour live stream, then those two attorneys, we had two attorneys that we reviewed the video, the armed scholars, I think, I put the link in the chat. Anyway, and they said that they regulated every part of the Texas road. Every single part was regulated.
Unfucking believable.
What the, look at that thing. I mean, I guess you need like for out there. I mean,
Kurt, is this your vehicle?
Yeah, I've got the new tag in the glove compartment because I didn't have a screwdriver to undo it.
That's fine. You have proof of insurance?
Yeah, I got that on my phone. You need the tag? I just bought it last week.
Now, now the only thing about trying to put up on your phone, I don't know if it's if you have it saved statically, you'll be in good shape. But if you're dependent on a signal,
No, I should have it in my Apple Wallet here.
that's why I tell you guys to have everything laminated, ready to go. So you don't have to deal with nonsense when you're dealing with a rogue police officer named Brian Lillibridge. Brian Lillibridge. I mean, his last name is Lillibridge. You're gonna make fun of someone.
Do you mind if I zoom in?
Yeah.
She zooms in. Anything? Is there any more information with it? It says type of vehicle or anything like that? Generally, there's something on there that would say.
I mean, why is he going through all this? He hasn't done anything. He pulled over on the side of the road. Why does he have to go through all of these things? Why is this happening right now? He just stopped on the side of the road and was taking some pictures.
Kind of vehicle.
I mean, I don't understand. He stopped on the side of the road, was taking some pictures. This guy walked up and now he's giving him a ticket for what?
A couple of questions. I'm issuing a citation for entrance into the park without a permit.
Issuing you a citation for entering into a park without a permit? You can't step off the road. You have to have a permit to step anywhere in a park?
A couple of questions I have for you. What is your eye color?
Brown.
And then what is your weight? Tell me what you want.
193.
193. Okay. What's the current phone number for you?
917 442 4.
All right. Here's your identification back. Let me get your signature at the bottom. This is an admission of guilt. It says you agree to contact the court regarding the matter, and I'll go over the court information.
Where's the count?
Bro, this is your existence, bruh. Stealing money from people on the side of the road, dude. You are a thief. You are a criminal, bro. Lillibridge. Lil Bridge. You're Lil Bridge. You're a criminal, bruh. You steal people's money. You are a criminal, dude. You look evil, to be honest, bro.
County seat. County seat is in Marfa, but this is the Justice of the Peace Court. She's in Presidio. Great. I'm headed there now. So she's gonna be closed. I don't. I'll come back. Okay. You can. That or I'll just hire a lawyer. Okay. I mean, this is a fruitless effort here, but
Yeah, they're just stealing your money on the side of the road. He's just stealing your money. You didn't do anything wrong. Nothing.
Okay. This is your copy. It's Judge Bishop. Like
Right.
I said, she's Justice in Presidio. Main thing, phone number 432-229-3705. Call that number on or before December 19th. Discuss the issue with you.
okay. And they'll assign a court date.
Yes, they will. Yeah.
Great. What's the charge on it?
It's a Class C misdemeanor. Max fine up to $500. That's at the discretion of the court.
Okay, great. Yeah.
$500.
$500. That's at the discretion
on it.
It's a Class C misdemeanor.
Class C misdemeanor.
Max fine up to $500. That's
fine of up to $500. So if you guys want, get over to his channel and make sure that you drop a comment here for this guy right here. Tell him that, when I tell you up to $500, we'll cover that. Follow the John. Let him know that Team DLZ will cover that 100%. Just drop a comment for him and let him know. Here's the link to his channel. We're not going to make him. We'll crowdfund. Screw that. Here's the link to his channel right here. No way, bro. I saw it. I saw your thing. Follow his name on here is Follow the John. Follow the John. That's his 1.14. So give him a sub. Let him know. Follow the John. I've never. So there it is right there. Follow the John. I put his link in the channel, but Follow the John. I'm known for doing things like this, and so 100%. Let me know when your fine or your fee comes up, and I will organize a fundraiser for you. And a lot of the people who are in this chat right now will contribute to paying your fine to a statist garbage man of a human being. That guy, Little Bridge. Little Bridge making up for being a little bridge. Deputy Little Bridge. We will crowdfund that for you. My brother, plain and simple, you have my word on it. So just reach out and contact me. And a bunch of people will go into that chat now and put Team DLZ. So reach out to me here. Tell them Delete Law sent you. 100%. All right. So yeah, good to see you, Chuck. We don't stop, brother. You know it. Katie, we don't stop. James, I love Yahweh, the tribe. What is going on? April, nice to see you. Thank you for coming. Dr. Donna Walters, thank you. Appreciate it. Griffey, what's going on? What's going on? People News today. Katie, Douglas, what is going on? Just your confidence is poquito. Jeff hates pigs. Jeff hates piggies. Anyway, listen, I've been on for a couple hours, so I should get the flock out of here. I want to try to get something in tonight in the next 3 hours, so I want to get that accomplished. And I will let you guys drift off into La La Land for sleep of the night. Hopefully some of you guys get some sleep. No matter what, thank you guys for coming. Remember, OTVO. No matter what, you always drop a comment when you see the video. Always put OTVO down in the comment section. To Team DLZ, if I didn't say your name just now, I love you anyway. I didn't see Chevy. Maybe Chevy was doing something. Love you guys. Thanks for coming. See you guys on the next one.